know what horror is?
3, the devil's number. Is that the devil's number?
That's 6.
Oh.
What, do you need a nap?
Come with me into the tormented, haunted, half-lit night of the insane. This is my world. Let me lead you into it.
Welcome back, creepers. I'm Whitney, that's Danny, and this is Creepy Caffeine.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm pretty okay.
Pretty okay? Doing pretty okay fine.
It's September, which I feel like always generally kind of boosts my mood, just because it's like inching up on the best time of the year.
We are quickly approaching fall.
Yes.
And our Narcissism Month.
Exactly.
We talked about this on Dead Zone. We get to be selfish and focus on ourselves this month. It's our birthday month.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't checked out Dead Zone at all, first off, I don't know what's going on with you. There's plenty to check out. Secondly, we're doing a fun birthday situation over there where we get to pick out movies of our choice. And it's been fun because it's only the beginning of the month. And I already feel like I've had so many birthday gifts to myself, watching movies. We had a little tiny bit of cooler weather come in, like earlier this week. It's gone now, which makes me sad.
Didn't last long.
But it was there, and I can vouch for it, and it was lovely.
I actually had to put a hoodie on to go out and drink coffee with my birds in the morning because I'm an old lady, and I drink coffee with birds.
Yeah. But, you know, the fact that you had to put on a jacket, I feel like...
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, you told me. I woke up here I had to put on a jacket this morning. Oh my gosh, it is our time to shine.
It's here, folks. It is here. Halloween time.
The spooky season, motherfuckers. I'm so excited for, obviously September, like I said, but also October because we get to do a lot with our podcast. We can always do as much as we want. It's our fucking podcast. But I feel like October's just that gives us an excuse to just do whatever we want as much as we want.
We kind of go all out. We pick a theme. We already have our theme picked out for this year. We're very excited about it.
Yeah.
And we've already started kind of looking into it. So it's going to be fun. But first, we got to get through this episode. But it's going to be good, too.
Yeah, this one's going to be really good. I'm excited about this one. This is one of those things that it's these small little legends that you're not going to hear every day because these stories aren't passed on generation to generation, but they're still really creepy stories and I still need them in my head. So it's like, it's rude that nobody's told me these yet. So here I am to not be the rude best friend. I'm going to share the stories with everybody. That's what we're here to do.
That's what friends should do. If you have friends that are holding out their spooky stories, not your friend.
Not your friend.
Cut them loose.
We're your friend. We don't need
your only
that.
friend. And please don't leave us. You're actually our only friend.
Yes, let's say.
It's really how that works.
Deflecting. Please don't leave us.
Well, before we get to today's Chronicles, let's talk about how we're going to wet our whistles. And of course, I'm talking about our caffeine of choice. You have found something amazing. You just ordered it with our last round of groceries because we don't leave the house anymore.
Yeah.
We have people bring things to us. But you found like the zero version of Dr. Pepper cream soda.
Yeah, so I have always been a Dr. Pepper fan.
Not fan. I would say it's full on junkie.
Yeah, as I'd say, have and always will be more than a fan. But I recently started taking a new medicine a while back that changed my taste buds quite a lot. And I haven't had soda in a long time because it just hasn't tasted very good at all. It really messed with my taste buds. Soda tends to taste like really bitter to me now. But it was, I think back on July 4th, we had like the regular Dr. Pepper cream soda out at my grandparents' house. And I was like, this is a game changer. Not a good game changer because I shouldn't be drinking soda, but this tastes amazing. And so it was one of those things where this last week on a whim, I got the regular and had it in the house. And that was an unsafe decision for both of us.
Really, I think it lasted us maybe 3 days.
I would give us a little more than that, but it was not long.
It went very quickly.
When
If there had been a way to IV ourselves, I think we would have.
Yeah, it was a little bit ridiculous. And when I was placing the next grocery order, I was like, so we can kind of agree like that's just not safe, right? We shouldn't keep that in the house.
We know it. But meanwhile, in the back of your head, you're kind of hoping that'll say, "Oh, we did fine. We can do it."
Oh
again."
yeah, I was just waiting for you to be like, well, I actually really liked it. So I'd be like, well, weird, me too. But yeah, so we decided we weren't going to get it, and I generally don't like Diet Dr Pepper just at all. I'm not a huge fan of the flavor, so I knew I didn't want to try the diet one of that because I want to say we've tried the diet of the cream soda before, and it was just like
So.
yeah, but I just couldn't. It still tasted like diet. But this Dr Pepper zero sugar with cream soda, great.
Life changing.
Yeah. So we are sipping on those, and I'm pretty excited about it.
It was a good choice.
It was a new discovery. Didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah.
So.
Just kind of found it by happenstance, and you're like, guess what I found?
I know we were both like, should we try it?
And it's always iffy because you're like, it's probably not going to be that great because you want it to be great.
Yeah.
And you know what, guys? It's not that bad.
I thought you were going to say it's not that great. So it turns out.
I'm not prepared to say it's like, it's never going to match like the original with full on sugar. But if I got to do a diet drink, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
That's about as a glowing endorsement as I can give for any diet drink.
I don't hate it. So there you go.
No, it actually is pretty darn good. And we're both having that today.
Yeah.
So we highly recommend. And of course, we have a program here where if you'd like to help support our little podcast and make sure we never run out of our caffeinated goodness, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/creepycaffeine and buy us a coffee or your caffeine of choice, and we could give you a shout out in a future episode. And this week, our coffee is brought to us by Melissa Walker. We appreciate you listening. Thank you so much for the coffee, Melissa. This one's on you.
Cheers.
Alrighty, well, talk to me a little bit about these stories we're going to be doing today. You wanted to go full on kind of creepy paranormal, and man, I think you hit it out of the park.
Yeah, I was definitely feeling paranormal, but I wasn't sure which route I wanted to go. That's such a broad topic. But I knew that I really wanted, I don't know, just something that kind of like can get under your skin and just be genuinely pretty creepy. And sometimes I feel like that's a little bit more than just like, here's a haunted house and some scary facts about it. Now, don't get me wrong. Scary haunted houses are still really fucking scary, and I'll tell you stories about those any day. But these are just a teeny bit creepier. You know, they're going to get underneath your skin, make you think.
Yeah, because they're not your everyday stories.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. And of course, I found this over on Listverse, and it's just called 10 Everyday Places That Boast Dark and Bizarre Legends. And it's written by Marcus Louth. And the whole list is full, like we said, of amazing stories and places, and I think a couple we had already heard of, I believe, but if you want to go check out the full list, as always, I'm going to link it down in the show notes, and you guys should definitely check out the full list of everything, because we're not going to be able to cover all the locations here, but you still need to know all the creepy things.
Because we're going to have to skip some pretty good stories.
Yeah, and not because we want to, gosh darn it. I have a job. I gotta go back to work. So I'm sorry.
We're on a bit of a time crunch, but we're going to be covering our faves.
Yes. All right. So kicking off this week's stories is going to be Strange Activities of Deer Island. It says Deer Island sits in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Biloxi, Mississippi. It is home to a plethora of tales that date back to the early 19th century and continue today. Many of the sightings are reported by fishermen who could use the island as a base camp of sorts during fishing trips. They have long told, for example, of the firewater ghost, sometimes called the ghost of Blue Fire, a ball of blue fire that is often seen moving speedily under or on the surface of the water. Despite its name, many researchers in the modern age have likened details of the sightings to similar sightings of UFOs. A headless skeleton is also said to roam the island. Legends state that the skeleton belongs to an unfortunate pirate who was decapitated by his fellow crew so that he would remain on the island to watch over their loot.
All right, Deer Island. I am very familiar with Deer Island. I've never actually been out there. There are a series of barrier islands just off the coast out in the Gulf of Mexico. I used to live down on the Gulf Coast in Mississippi in Bay St. Louis, so we know all about these little islands out there. I have heard of this legend of the blue light, that it is told that out by these islands, for some reason, you can see these blue lights that are just under the water, or sometimes they say, like the story said, they're floating just above the water. I've never personally seen the lights, but that is a legend that I do recall hearing down there. But of course, living on the Gulf Coast, right there, it's not very pretty water. It's very kind of dirty and brown looking. And that's kind of because of those barrier islands. There's also, you don't get a big surf community because there aren't big waves that come in, because the waves all hit those islands out there. And so it traps all this soot, and so that's why the water looks real kind of brown and dirty right there. But apparently if you get out past these islands, it's beautiful, and it's like how you expect this ocean water to look, and it's clear. And so that's where you're supposed to be able to see these blue lights, which I always thought was fascinating.
I feel like the blue lights are fascinating, but I need more info on this headless skeleton, because if I was just walking
around, I had not
around
heard of that one
and saw that would be terrifying.
There are a ton of pirate legends.
I thought you were going to say
in
there
that
are
area.
a lot of headless skeletons. So now that you say that,
I mean, you cannot turn a corner on the Gulf Coast without running into a fucking decapitated skeleton. It's annoying, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of become, they're an invasive species, I think. They've been really trying to get their population under control.
I didn't realize Mississippi was hiding these secrets
Well,
down there.
Sometimes you just gotta really experience a place to know what's really going on. I know that there are a lot of pirate legends down there. I had not heard of this decapitated fella.
Well, that is very interesting. And if anybody has seen this headless skeleton, again, a little rude that you haven't told me about it yet, especially since we have email address that you can email those stories to. So again, I think I need to reconsider our friendship. But if you will send that story, we can become best friends, because I need some real life firsthand experience with this headless skeleton. Not my own, for sure. I would just like to live vicariously through somebody else.
Through other headless skeletons, not my own. Also, I want to hear the stories if anybody has seen the blue lights, too.
Yes.
Now, we used to do a lot of fishing down there. Obviously, you'd go sit on the seawall and just fish. But we would also use cast nets to try and get bait to fish with. And we would bring up like little jellyfish and stuff. And they had that bioluminescence, which would occasionally cause it to kind of glow that blue color. But it was quite obvious what it was.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure if this is a legend that goes back, hundreds of years, then at the time, perhaps they didn't know what this bioluminescence was, and maybe that's what these blue lights were. But I always heard it like it was larger, like a big, not like UFO size, but I heard, like big balls of light, like maybe even bigger than like basketball or something. We're talking like, I don't know, what's
like
something
globe
that's big
size?
and round. Like what?
Like globe size?
Maybe like those big globes, like that open up and have bars in them, like you see in like rich people's libraries. The big globes?
Yeah.
Like that size big.
That's so specific. I love that.
I can't think of another round thing that is comparable in size.
Well, either way, Mississippi has a lot going on. And
they really do.
again, you've said that you've lived there and you haven't I don't know. We've been together for a while now, and I haven't heard any of these stories. So
Well, again, didn't know the skeleton one. So don't hold me to that one.
I was gonna say I'll give you a pass for that one.
Thank you.
But these blue lights,
I apologize.
it's okay. That should have been
And-
on our first date, I think. But that's okay.
But also did not experience them myself. Perhaps if I had experienced said blue lights, then
yeah, that would have been a
it would have been beholden
icebreaker.
of me.
Yeah. What an icebreaker, though. For real.
Really? So what do you do? I'm a manager. Also, I saw these blue lights once. That was cool. That sounds like a story I would lead into. Somehow I would find a way to link those together.
You know what
once saw
also
the color
works?
at blue ones.
Lights. And lights remind me of the blue lights I saw out in Mississippi. They are linked to paranormal activity. So what do you think about that?
All right. Well, shall we move on?
I'm moving.
Okay.
My bags are packed.
Well, we're going from Deer Island to Dyer Lane.
Spooky.
So these are paranormal incidents at Dyer Lane.
Headless skeletons.
Maybe.
Blue lights.
Probably not. Dyer Lane is a lonely 1-mile stretch of road in Alberta, California. It appears to be the center of bizarre paranormal activity, ranging from ghostly apparitions in the middle of the road to rocks being thrown
Wow.
seemingly from nowhere at joggers who dare to venture that way.
At joggers, I thought it was gonna be like at cars, which I mean, like, is not good either. But like joggers, there's nothing. Shit, we were trying to take down
Can you
joggers.
imagine just running and be like, "Fuck! Ow! What the hell, dude?"
This just sounds like an ornery old person that doesn't want people like jogging past their house.
You healthy fuck. Go eat a Pop-Tart. Well, the origins and the cause, if you believe the legends, go back to the mid-19th century before the road existed. At the time, it was land owned by the Dyer family, John, Julie, and their children. They kept cattle on the land as well as a slaughterhouse and appeared to be happy and prosperous. However, John, it would seem, struggled with remaining faithful to his wife, and one evening, after murdering their youngest children, Julie Dyer slaughtered her husband before taking her own life. The Dyer's eldest child would return later that evening, and upon being confronted with the carnage of the murder of his entire family, he set light to every building on the land, ensuring all were destroyed. Was he trying to cover things up for his mom?
I don't know.
Also, they really buried the lead with that one.
Yeah.
It's like, however, John really couldn't stay faithful to his wife. So she killed their children and then him.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Things went horribly bad.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I don't know. Talking sometimes works.
You could work that out.
I mean,
I would hope.
even if you don't want to talk, just like
Divorce
yeah,
is an option.
why not?
Live separately. That's good. Well, whether the Dyers really do haunt the road named in their honor is open to debate. Many locals, however, will tell you to stay clear of the stretch if possible.
That's all I need to know.
That's all you got to tell me.
I'm cleared of the stretch, and I won't be there.
Do not come around here stretching.
Keep your stretches to yourself.
There's no yoga for the next 3 miles. This is a non-yoga zone.
If you do, we will throw rocks at you. So, no jogging, no yoga,
We
no
will allow Tai
exercise.
Chi. That seems just to be a pretty movement more than exercise.
This one I think is really interesting just because I feel like it's always a little bit more interesting when there is actually a real life case or a real life story you can link it to, just because it does give obviously credence to the story of what's going on. Now, it doesn't exactly explain like the actual incidents that are happening. I don't know how all of that would lead to somebody throwing rocks. Just because you would think it would be more like a residual haunting. Like maybe as you're like walking down that road, you would like feel a bunch of heat in a, that stretch of road or something.
Yeah.
Or, smell smoke or something, something like that. But yeah, just randomly chucking rocks at people seems aggressive.
Completely unrelated. I think there's just some asshole who sits in the bushes. I'm gonna get these fuckers today. Hate these joggers.
He's like, ooh, just throwing rocks at people.
Get a car, asshole.
Try driving. All right, well, I'm putting my rocks away because we are going to Meon Hill, and we're going to talk about some witchcraft.
Let's do it.
So, Meon Hill and the surrounding areas of Lower and Upper Quinton in Warwickshire, England, have a long history of witchcraft and the practicing of dark arts. Meon Hill itself has a bizarre legend attached to its creation. Following the completion of Evesham Abbey, the devil himself hurled a, quote, large clod of earth at the place of worship. The Bishop of Worcester from 693 to 717, St. Egwin, used prayer to swerve the approaching pile out of the way of the abbey into a field nearby, so creating Meon Hill. The Rollright Stones also reside nearby and are...
The Rollright Stones? What are the Rollright Stones? It sounds like a Rolling Stones cover band.
It is.
But they, like...
They're also leaning to the right, so... And not in like the political way. We don't want to get heated. Like they have a right leaning stance to themselves. So,
all right, the Rollright Stones.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
They don't have a lot of fans, but the ones they do are pretty diehard. So,
good for them.
Yeah,
as long as they're following their passion, it's fine.
They don't have any choice to. They automatically roll.
I
to the
thought you were
right,
going to say,
so.
"Oh, they don't have any passion. They merely do it for the money."
No. They don't have any choices.
All right. Good
you
for
can't
them.
go to the left. They got to roll to the right. That's their only option. So, all right. The Rollright Stones also reside nearby and are considered even today to be a meeting place of witches and those who practice black magic. According to the legends, the stones are the remains of a Danish king and his army who were advancing toward the capital. A witch would halt this advance, however, turning them into stone, which they will remain as until the end of time. And that's the story, but we just talked about how the fact that it's just a Rolling Stone cover band. So you can ignore the scary part.
And really just go for the good music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this very short little story.
It's very, it's very out there.
It is. So we have Saint Egwin, who used prayer
to swerve
an approaching clod of earth.
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure how big a clod would be, but seeing as how it created a hill,
yes,
an entire hill, a clod would be large.
I would say, yeah.
And the fact that he was able to swerve this clod as it was approaching, like in mid-flying air. That's impressive.
Yeah. And he was able to take it and just make a hill, and I love that.
And now the Rollright Stones perform there.
Exactly. And you know that old saying, when life gives you lemons, when life gets you large clods of earth, what do? You make lemonade and hills. So, I don't know. I feel like these people were just doing what they had to do to make things work. Witches, maybe. Creative, absolutely. Throwing around hills left and right, sounds like a good time.
I mean, you really haven't heard Jumpin' Jack Flash till you've heard it from up top, a clod of earth.
Yeah. What else are you going to do in 693? You just got to swerve clods of earth. That's literally all there is to do.
Yeah.
Make hills? I mean,
those were known as the earth clod swerving years.
Yeah. Yeah. Every hill is just swerved earth.
I mean, everyone's seen that movie, How Meon Hill Got Its Swerve Back.
Yeah, it was a hit.
It was.
Yeah. All the songs were performed by the Rollright Stones.
It was a great soundtrack. All right, well, let's move on to the curse of Pyramid Lake.
I love a good curse. Not to myself. Please keep
no.
those at
No,
bay.
no, no.
I have too much going on, and I am sensitive.
I am full up of curses right now.
My body itself is a curse, so I just need you guys to keep them to yourself. But I love some good curses on lakes.
Who doesn't like a good lake curse? Well, Pyramid Lake in Nevada is one of the most beautiful, serene settings anyone could hope to visit, at least on the surface. The legends of the area and their origins are anything but. As settlers from the west encroached more and more on land inhabited by the Paiute tribe, tensions quickly turned to animosity and ultimately the Paiute War, sometimes known as the Pyramid Lake War. The conflict was bloody, to say the least, with 80 deaths on the side of the settlers and an untold number of Paiutes killed. A ceasefire was agreed to in August 1860, but not before the Paiute tribe placed a curse on the lake. Many people who visit the area often report hearing babies crying or children laughing,
Ew.
as if the sound is emanating from the water itself.
Ew.
Furthermore, hearing the children's voices is a sign of bad luck. According-
How do you avoid it?
You better bring your earplugs. According to a local saying, quote, "If you hear them, you will have bad luck. If you see them, you're dead," end quote. As if to add a dose of reality to these dark legends, many swimmers and divers have drowned in the lake, often in mysterious circumstances. Stranger still, some unfortunate people simply vanished and are presumed dead. I mean, I don't think I would even bother.
I bet there's like other
Swimming.
lakes.
There's pools,
Yeah.
even water parks, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know why we choose a cursed lake to cool off in.
Yeah. It just seems like if I'm there and I can't do anything to avoid the possible cries of children within the water, and if I can't avoid them, then I am soon to also become a cry within the water. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I will plant my swimmer's flag in non-cursed lake, if you would, please.
That is very interesting. I know that a while back there was an article I was reading about another body of water similar to this. I can't remember where it was now, but it was similar to this in the aspect that I was like, I want to do a whole ass story about this type of thing. So we should look up more stories about like cursed bodies of like small bodies of water like this with stories, because I think that's so interesting. Because though I know the one that I was reading about had similar instances like this where swimmers and divers have drowned or, some gone missing, and there's, no concrete evidence as to what happened. I just think that's so interesting just because it's, it leads me to believe, is it possibly paranormal, in the aspect of these stories are told, or is it just happenstance that this body of water is just inherently dangerous for whatever reason? We just, for whatever reason, can't figure out why. And,
Yeah, it's got some crazy undercurrent,
Yeah.
and a lot of people tend to drown. Sure,
Yeah. But I definitely think we should just do like a whole, I don't know, lake stories. We'll figure it out, but
I'm down.
I need more of these because I think these are so interesting, because it's one of those things, it's kind of like campfire tales. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't hear these stories unless you were there going to that lake.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. These are really fun. All right. So the next on this list is just calling this literally the most active paranormal areas in all of the U.S., which seems like a pretty,
That's a high claim.
yeah, I was about to say a pretty solid claim. So we're gonna see. And if anybody lives here, I need your stories, besties. I need you guys to let me know what's going on over here, because if you live in the most active paranormal area, what?
You should have daily stories for
Yeah.
us.
What
I
the
mean,
heck's
come
going on here?
Also, if you live somewhere else and you think your area is the most paranormal area in the U.S., why aren't you writing us about that?
Because at this point, I just need you guys to give me lists of places to like visit, not move, but visit, because anywhere is better than here in Oklahoma, where there's no paranormals, nothing paranormals. I don't got any fun lakes. No lakes that are here to give me baby cries. I don't have any roads with rocks being thrown down them.
I mean, we've got our fair share of little legends and stuff.
I mean, we do, but it's
we've seen them, done them. It's
yes,
boring.
old news.
I want the new news.
Give me the new news, just like here in Antioch, California, which was the most active paranormal area in the U.S., just like I just said. It's situated east of San Francisco, and ghost stories and encounters with strange entities are in abundance. For example, you may bump into Sarah Norton, a local resident from the 1800s who was killed when a carriage knocked her down and ran her over. Her death occurred near the Black Diamond Mines, a hotspot of ghostly activity in itself. Two dark figures are often reported to be lurking around the mines, while the spirit of the White Witch, who was executed nearby, is also said to roam the area. If you decide to indulge in a little fishing in the Antioch area, you very well may bump into a woman who has been seen flying over the marina, or even the gold miner who once lived in a white house on the town's outskirts and who has held conversations with several people.
I feel like they keep glossing over these very interesting stories.
Like the lady just flying over the marina.
Why is she flying? How is that happening?
I can't imagine just be sitting there fishing, just me taking in I don't know why I don't do this often. I'm not going to pretend I know what that looks like, but I'm sure it's like relaxing with your fishing rod and some worms in the water, and you're like, getting sweaty and dirty, and it's like a lot.
Well,
and then you look up, flying woman, nothing else, no rocks following her, no clods of earth following her. There's nothing else.
I can confirm that's not something you would normally see while fishing.
Yeah, that's good, because I was thinking I might be missing out on a pretty cool hobby.
Well, I just wanted to make sure you understood, since you didn't do it very often.
Oh, yeah.
That is not normal fishing activity.
Oh, no, I'm glad you let me know, because I was about to pick up a new hobby. This sounded way cooler than I thought it was. But it turns out you're fishing for some fishies here in Antioch, relaxing.
Bing, bang, boom.
Here comes this woman. I like how it doesn't even it's not a witch, just a woman.
Just a woman.
You may very well bump into a woman who has been seen flying over the marina. Any woman. You just got to be asking around there. Have you flown?
Yeah, it's not one specific.
Yeah.
It's not like, Sally the flying woman that everyone knows about. It's just random flying women.
Yeah.
They are plagued.
That's why this place is
flying women.
the most active paranormal area, because they've got so many crazy things. They've got just flying women.
Everybody puts up giant bug zapper lights. Why are these bug zappers so big? Have you seen the flying women around here?
I like to think that they're all like really bitchy and stuff, like just getting shit done, just like out there kicking ass, and like just because they want to, not because there's like danger that needs attending to. They're just like,
it's just the most efficient way to get from one place to another.
Yeah,
and they gotta cut across the lake to do it.
exactly. Knocking people out on the way in. They don't.
I have to pick up Casey from soccer. I do not have time to go around.
The fisherman's like, sorry.
Oh, well, I think we need to plan a trip to Antioch. This must be experience for ourselves.
Yeah, all I'm doing is this is a whole road trip.
Also, is it, can anyone just fly? As long as you're female, you make it to Antioch. Are you now able to do this?
Because I think we need to move.
I mean, if
so.
I can fly all the time, welcome home to Antioch. This is where I'm headed.
Home sweet home, where the wings grow.
Also, could I fish while flying?
Ooh,
Wouldn't that be nice?
I mean, yeah, I'd probably do other things, but
I suppose you do have to enjoy fishing, so.
I mean, I don't hate fishing. I'm just like, if I can fly, do I want to do it in fish or?
Good point. There are plenty of other things you could be doing when flying. It would be low on your flying priorities, but I mean, I still felt it should be asked. Those two things could be combined.
Yeah, this area seems like that's an important question to ask, because we've already got 5 flying women and fishermen, so why not a crossover?
Yeah.
Ladies want to fish too.
Damn right they do.
Ladies want to fish and fly.
Fish and fly. Everyone knows. All the ladies want to fish and fly. I think we missed the point of this particular story. But honestly, I got what I needed from it.
Oh yeah, I fully. I mean, no, I don't think I missed the point at all. This place sounds fucking bananas. We got women knocked out of their carriages and ran over. We don't get any reason why. Just poor Sarah Norton. Just somebody knocked her out of her carriage.
Well, obviously she was
And now
supposed to be flying, and the rest of the flying ladies were pissed, going, "What the fuck are you doing? Sitting on a carriage? Get your ass up in the air, grab a fishing pole, and let's get shit going, Sarah." No wonder she's dead, idiot.
Now she just haunts the place because she didn't have her sea legs and she's pissed about it. And then the Black Diamond Mines, it's just a hot spot.
It is a hot spot, but we are not allowed to know what goes on. Just know it's a lot.
A lot. And it does say 2 dark figures reportedly lurking around, which I don't like that that's so vague. I mean, if I can touch on that real quick, I'm going to need some specifics because just dark figure, that could be just somebody wearing dark clothes.
It could be.
And
It's just a couple of emo kids just hanging outside the mine, listening to Panic at the Disco. And
that
Fall
wouldn't
Out
be
Boy.
that wouldn't be scary. I would probably ask to join. I'd be like, oh,
Exactly. Just fly right down in there. Be like, what's up? Also, apparently, Stevie Nicks was executed here. I don't know why we did that.
I won't be the one to start that rumor, but it does say that the White Witch haunts this place. I feel like we just don't hear about this area that much, and it sounds like it's just fucking popping.
Who lives in or near Antioch? Please contact us immediately. We would like photographic evidence as well, if possible.
If you're flying, take a selfie while you're doing it.
Oh, can you come pick us up?
Yeah, look, I'm a good friend.
We will provide our own snacks.
I thought you were going to say like wings or something. I was like, well, I can't actually.
No, we got to get to Antioch
first. Take us there.
Yes.
That'll be our first stop. And then we can fly on our own. We don't even have to bother you anymore. You know? We'll still fly with you. We don't want to like make you feel like we used you, you know? We still want to hang out. But I would also like wings. So I don't think that's too much to ask.
No. Well, if we can move on from flying ladies, I need to tell you about the ghost of Gay Street.
All right. I'm very excited.
Well, you should be excited. I think it's an interesting story.
Thanks for not telling me a boring one.
Well, I thought about telling you a boring one, but it defeats the purpose of this podcast.
Yes.
So on this street, there is one particular 3-story house in Greenwich Village that appears to be the hub of bizarre activity. The entire street is said to be home to mysterious figures lurking in the shadows before vanishing. There's noises like children playing in otherwise quiet buildings and strange aromas of cooked food seemingly coming from nowhere.
What?
The house in question is 12 Gay Street, and it was built in 1827 and is said to have been a place where influential figures and celebrities of the time would gravitate to for prestigious parties and dinners.
This is so interesting.
Is it like a secret place?
I don't know.
Although there are accounts of strange sightings of what would become known as the ghost of Gay Street going back to the late 19th century, the property and the street itself would find fame in the 1960s when respected paranormal investigator Hans Holzer visited it. Many paranormal researchers have conducted further investigations of the house since, and it is widely regarded as an authentic and genuine paranormal hotspot.
Why the French toast? Because I've never heard of this building before. This is a whole ass 3-story house
Yes, correct.
that's just out there, famously known to be haunted. That's got like this whole street has shadows lurking, and we're not going to talk about the fact that
Mysterious figures.
yeah,
Yes.
what the fuck?
And also more children playing and being. Why are there so many creepy kids?
We've got a whole ass haunted street, and then this it ends all on the last house on the street where it's got extra ghosts that just.
Plus, why were all these like celebrities and influential people hanging out here? Like, is this one of those like back room places where you could do things you normally couldn't do out in
Suspicious.
society.
Because that could explain why it's haunted.
If there's some weird shit going on.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to know about. I am here for the weird shit.
Yeah, I'm thinking I need some more information about this Gay Street house. So if I can find more stories and information, there might be a whole ass episode because I need more.
Absolutely. I'm in 100%.
I need the stories of what the celebrities did, and I need the ghost stuff. Also, why did the ghosts come out of the house? Why are they just hanging out in the streets now?
Yeah. Did it get too crowded? Was there so much weird, wicked stuff going on at this house that it just overspilled into the streets?
It's weird because it says it talks about it being highly regarded as like an authentic and genuine like paranormal hotspot, but I don't think I've ever seen like shows go there before.
I've never heard of this place.
Yeah, I mean, not that shows are like the end all be all, but I mean, you see your typical spots on every show, so it's
Yeah, the ones that are like really known for
Yeah.
being like super paranoid, for being super paranormal.
yeah.
Yeah, you see all the big hitters go here, and I've never heard of this place. It might not be available. It's just not-
True. Yeah,
they don't want that kind of attention.
that's
but
very true.
too late. We all know about it now.
Too late. You have my attention, Gay Street, and I am intrigued.
Quite frankly, Gay Street, you've always had my attention.
All right, so I think we're going to wrap up this episode with a story from the stone bridge off Old Applewhite Road. It says, under a stone bridge off Old Applewhite Road in San Antonio, Texas, is said to reside the Donkey Lady. Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
A mysterious woman who, legend states, suffered horrific burns in a fire at some point in the 1950s. Horribly scarred, she was shunned by her husband and the community at large and was said to have taken refuge in the loneliness of the surrounding woodlands. There have been many apparent sightings of the Donkey Lady over the years, although it is not clear if indeed the story is true, whether these sightings are of the lady herself or of her spirit. Further legends state that should you wish to see the Donkey Lady for yourself, you should drive to the bridge, turn off your headlights, and then call out her name 3 times. It is said that she will then appear to you. Although these details are found in many other urban legends, many local residents insist that they have had bizarre experiences at the otherwise lonely and nondescript bridge.
Okay. Again, many questions. First of all, why the hell is she called Donkey Lady?
Yeah, that seems like we should maybe have some explanation as to why that's a name at all.
Did she raise donkeys, ride donkeys? Because immediately it makes it sound like this is a story told by some idiot high school friend about some guy who went to Tijuana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's about to tell you the story about the Donkey Lady. And it's, no. What is her name? Because it has nothing to do with her accident. It just states that she was burned in a fire.
Mm-hmm. I think what's interesting is it does say that there's been many sightings over the year, although they can't confirm if it's her spirit or the lady herself. So there is this like kind of underlying mystery to the fact of, did this lady go out there and decide to live out there just because for whatever reason she had a shit husband who made her feel terrible for having scars?
And the whole community, apparently.
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
community just says, oh, you were in a terrible accident? Yes, we will no longer acknowledge you as a human being.
Yeah. So did she indeed go out there and, thrive and do what she could out there? Or for whatever reason, did she pass away and is it indeed her spirit? I think that's interesting that there's that kind of underlying mystery to that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like thinking you're talking to a ghost or something and like
And she's like, no, I just live out here. Dude.
she like reaches out and touches you on your arm or something? Oh God, I would like piss my pants. I mean, I'd probably piss myself, but the simple fact that I'm sitting there talking to a ghost, like that's not scary as it is. Like that's not what I'm peeing about. It's the fact that she's put her friendly hand on my shoulder and I'm like, oh, positivity and emotion, don't. And I just pee everywhere. Not the fact that I was talking to a ghost. Good grief.
Oh, goodness. Well, poor lady. I wish we could call her something else. Susan.
I'm not going to call her Donkey Lady until I
I'm
know
not
why.
either.
I'm in my head, it's because she keeps donkeys. And for that, I love it.
Well, yeah, but I
'Cause I
still
love
don't
that she's
want to
just-
call her that. She has an identity.
Well, maybe she doesn't want you to know. You got to think about that. Maybe she just wants to be the donkey lady.
Well, okay. I mean, if she...
I mean, we don't know.
We don't know, but it just seems not right to just call her Donkey Lady, especially with no context.
Yeah.
It's like I met this chick at the grocery store. I call her Monkey Shits. I don't know if she's ever played with monkey shit before, but that's just a name I decided to give her. See, it doesn't make sense. Why?
That would lead to some more questions
Exactly.
on my end, for sure.
Because that's the only thing I want to take from this is why.
First, what were
is
you
her
doing at
name
the store?
Donkey Lady?
Secondly, were you wearing your face mask? Thirdly, I mean, there's going to be a slew of questions, but that one will be in there. I will have some questions about monkey shits, but there's going to be some more before that.
All right. Well, all right. This was to just make a point about the Donkey Lady.
Yeah, well, the donkey lady, all I'm saying is I don't like the name, unless for sure we know that she's a keeper of donkeys, and then, that's fun.
Fine if she's okay with that.
Does anybody know Does anybody know?
Does anyone live off Old Applewright Road?
Also, what a lovely name. That just sounds like so picturesque out of a storybook.
Old Applewhite Road?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I love it.
It's like, of course there's a ghost there.
Of course there is.
Of course there's a ghost on Old Applewhite Road. My God.
There's probably several.
I love that.
Can we now move some of these flying women from Antioch to Applewhite Road in San Antonio, Texas? It just sounds like there should be some there.
It feels like we need to shuffle the donkey lady over to Antioch, get her some wings.
If
She
she
deserves
likes
it.
it, though, she should get to stay in Applewhite.
Oh, for sure. I'm just saying our girl deserves some wings. She's
Oh.
been through enough.
Absolutely. Let's get Donkey Lady up in the air.
Yeah.
Empowerment. I love it.
And then that way, when she comes to land, she can hyper jump and land on her shitty husband. Crash
And that
land,
whole fucking community.
throw a clod of earth on him.
Try and pray this away. Not gonna happen.
It's underneath that hill. There's a city full of rude ass people that don't know how to respect people and their body scars. That's just a legend. I don't know. That's what my mom told me when I was little. Pretty cool. Rolls down the hill.
Gotta fly. Woman just flew up into the air. Am I in Antioch? I thought this was San Antonio. All right. Well, these were awesome.
They were pretty awesome.
I had a very enjoyable time.
I did too. And again, we didn't touch on all the stories in this article. So if you guys want to read the others, we definitely recommend that you do. There's some other creepy ones in here. The link's going to be down in the show notes. And again, that article is called 10 Everyday Places That Boast Dark and Bizarre Legends by Marcus Louth. And it was very interesting. I'm so excited that we got to share it.
Yeah, Listverse never disappoints.
They really don't. I can literally sit on there for hours reading all their, it's like, I don't need lists in my life. I can make enough myself, but do I stop reading them? No.
Well, one more thing before we get out of here. Do you have a book recommendation?
I do. So I just finished this book this week. It was very interesting. I actually was recommended it on TikTok, on Book Talk. Everybody has their little size of TikTok they're on. And I follow a bunch of channels that are all about like psychological thrillers and stuff like that. So a lot of times they're like, here's some books that I read and enjoy. And this was one of those. And it's called Theme Music by T. Marie Vandelli. I had never heard of it before, but the description immediately drew me in. I think I rented it like from the library app the next day after I heard about the book. And it says, she didn't run from her past. She moved in. For the lucky among us, life is what you make of it. But for Dixie Wheeler, the theme music for her story was chosen by another long ago. On the day her father butchered her mother and brothers and then slashed a knife across his own throat, only 1-year-old Dixie was spared, becoming infamously known as Baby Blue for the song left playing in the aftermath of the slaughter. 25 years later, Dixie is still desperate for a connection to the family she can't remember, so when her childhood home goes up for sale, Dixie sets aside all reason and moves in. But as the ghosts of her family seemingly begin to take up residence in the house that was once theirs, Dixie starts to question her sanity and wonders if the evil force menacing her is that of her father or a demon of her own making. In order to make sense of her present, Dixie becomes determined to unravel the truth of her past and seeks out the detective who originally investigated the murders. But the more she learns, the more she opens up the uncomfortable possibility that the sins of her father may belong to another. As bodies begin to pile up around her, Dixie must find a way to expose the lunacy behind her family's massacre to save her few loved ones who are still alive and whatever scrap of sanity she has left. This book was really good. It's a little bit longer than books I tend to read, but I definitely felt like it kept pace the whole time. I never felt like I got bored. It was a little graphic in some parts. Whenever the TikTok video I found was recommending it, they gave a pretty big graphic warning. I didn't find that it was too terribly graphic, but obviously that's going to be personal choice. So I would look up content warnings and stuff before you go in. But I thought it was really well written. There was a lot going on. It kept me guessing whether I was in the paranormal world or whether I was in reality, and like where that ending would land, basically. I kept wondering, okay, are we actually losing our sanity here? Is this person, not doing well, or is she completely sane and things are haunted and just terrible? So I definitely enjoyed it the whole time through and recommend it for anybody wanting to check it out. And again, that is theme music by T. Marie Bandelli, and I'll link the book down in our show notes as well, so you guys can check that out.
I do have to say that sounds super fascinating, but I gotta say, I could never.
Oh, no.
If there was a major tragedy like that and my father had killed my family, I couldn't move back into that house.
No.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You find yourself like, okay, is she losing it? Because this has just got to be a triggering situation.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously that's just awful to put herself back there. But yeah, it was so interesting because you're everything's told by her, so you're in the mindset of her as she's losing her mind, basically.
Yeah, even if she was a tiny infant when that happened and doesn't really remember that house, it doesn't matter. At least to me, you know, just knowing that this is where it all happened. And no, I couldn't do it. Oh, that must have been a fascinating story to read.
And that premise alone is what drew me in. Just the fact that she was moving back into her house that her family had, been murdered in was already interesting enough. And then, they threw in some paranormal aspects and some mystery aspects and the aspects of maybe we even start questioning like our main character, Dixie, the whole time, kind of questioning if maybe she's remembering things wrong, the whole time. So yeah, it was super interesting and definitely kept the pace the whole time. I finished it, I think in 1 week. It's about 400 pages, but it was a super easy read. So I definitely recommend it for those that are looking for a thriller that's a little bit on the darker side, but I still thought it was really good.
Sounds like a good one. Well, we did it.
Well, it's been done, my dude.
Episode 139 is
in the books.
In the books. All right, creepers. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Creepy Caffeine on your favorite listening platform. And if you're looking for a way to support us, we would be so grateful if you would leave a rating and or review, because that's how other people can find us. And if you screenshot that review and send it to us, we're going to send you your very own Creepy Caffeine sticker for free.
That's no money's honey.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can email us at creepycaffeine@gmail.com. And if you think you can scare us and have a creepy story you want to share, you can submit your terrifying tales to creepycalfstories@gmail.com. Again, that's creepycalfstories with 2 F's @gmail.com. Be sure to send it there, or we just might miss it. Some stories may be edited for time and content.
And if you want to reach us by snail mail, our address is P.O. Box 12665, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73157. Also, don't forget, if you want a list of all the books I've recommended on the pod, just check out goodreads.com/creepycaffeine for the full catalog. And lastly, if you want to find ways to stalk us on the internet, check out the show notes for a link to all of our socials and our Facebook group.
Well, what do you say, baby squirrel? You ready to put a fuzzy on your head and get the hell out of this room?
I am ready to get the hell out of this room.
We got to go take some flying lessons.
I have plenty of things to catch up on before we go on this road trip.
I mean, I'm going to go jump off the roof right now.
I'd rather you didn't.
Oh, well, but flying.
Fingers crossed Whitney is here next week, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you showing up every other week, and we look forward to scaring you next time. So until then, stay creepy.
Love you. Bye.
Well, hey there, Miss Josie. Welcome back to the show. Is this 2 episodes in a row you've made an appearance? You don't seem very enthusiastic for your interview today. Yeah, did Mama D just wake you up? Oh, yeah, okay. Did you listen to the stories today? Yeah. Do you want to go learn how to fly? Yeah, you think that'd be fun? Uh-huh. You could go fly and fish at the same time. Oh, you don't like to fish. Fish are stinky. That's a weird stance for a cat. Yeah. You prefer catnip. Okay, well, you can have both. Fish stinks. Yeah, well, okay. I'm not going to make you have fish. I don't know why you're yelling at me. This is a weird thing to get upset about. Do you not know you're a cat? I didn't know that fish was such a sensitive subject for the cat.
She only likes catnip and coffee. You know that.
She is my cat. So drugs and caffeine. Makes sense. Makes total sense.